We would like to acknowledge the Yagara people and the Turrbal people as the traditional custodians of Mianjin, the lands in which we record this podcast today. We pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
Hey everybody, welcome to For the Health of It podcast, a Healthcare Australia podcast.
Made for healthcare professionals by nurses on the inside. My name is Jessica.
And I'm Zana.
And we are actually brand ambassadors for Healthcare Australia and registered nurses ourselves.
Yes.
So if you haven't tuned into an episode yet, we've got a few episodes now, but this one is a very special one because it's actually a guest that we personally have known for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Both Zana and I have worked in the rural, remote and metro space within Healthcare Australia for a number of years. So we know our stuff when it comes to Healthcare Australia, but so does our guest today.
Yeah.
And our little journey of how we met her was pretty beautiful.
It is beautiful.
But we want to introduce Irna. Hello.
Hello, Jess and Zana. It's so good to see you again.
It is nice to see you again. We got to see you in Tweed recently as well.
Yes, we didn't get to catch up much though, but so I would like to.
It was so busy in Tweed. We had a beautiful dinner with the nurses to say thank you because they're working so hard, and we got to see, but we had about 30 or 40 nurses rock up.
Yeah, there was a lot of nurses.
It's a lot.
There was a good turnout actually, yeah.
It was a great turnout.
So lovely mingling.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about you. How did you get onto this journey of agency nursing? Where did it start?
Well, when I studied nursing, it's almost 12 years ago. I'm 100 years old now.
No.
I always wanting to travel Australia and always wanting to see places. And then I started hearing about travel nursing from a few people. And I thought wow, that sounds like a good idea. But at that time, with family, with my boy was still little, I thought I'll just stay in Toowoomba and work at work here in Toowoomba for a while, and maybe next time when my son's a bit older, when he's 16 or 18, I would love to try. Mm-hmm. And then, and I was there for 11 years, starting to get a bit bored and starting to get a bit, doing the same thing.
Yeah. Again, 11 years in one hospital?
Yeah, that's commitment.
In one hospital, yeah. So I guess my most experience is in general surgical. Mm-hmm. I do lots of gut surgeries, colorectal, urology, so, everything below the belt. That's my specialty.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I started to feel a bit bored and doing the same things, and I wanted to do something different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And my son's already 16 years old, 18 years old. I thought I think this is a good time for me to start. Mm-hmm. So I start looking into actually Facebook, and one day just come across agency nursing. So I thought I'll give it a go, and I'll just put a little email saying, hey, I'm interested.
Yep.
So that's how it was.
Journey began.
The journey began.
Yes.
But you didn't dive straight into general surgical nursing. You went quite a different path than that when you first started agency. So tell us how that transpired.
Well, yes. Like I said, I've been, bored doing the same things. And then when I saw the position for correction, I thought whoa, that sounds good. And that sounds really different. I thought what could be more different than correction? Because I've had enough of hospital work at that time.
Yeah.
So I thought let's try this. This looks good. This must be a good, a good gig to go to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I thought I'll give it a go. And then I come across your Nourish Nurse website.
Yes.
And I thought it sounds like this lady's doing correction. I thought I'll see if I message them and ask them how what it is, what it's involved.
And that
is it scary? Because correction. Oh my goodness, inmates, criminals. That's very scary.
You
that
have
was
a million
my
questions,
concern.
don't you, when it comes to correction?
I
nursing?
did, yes, I did. So that's why I approached you then. I sent you a message, and I'm glad that you did message me back.
Yeah,
so that was just awesome.
Yeah. So Zana and I, we had because we'd been travel nursing for so long, we're always getting asked the same questions. What agency do you work for? Is it good? How'd you get those experiences? It was just always a lot of the same questions because everyone's curious. So we actually developed a website called Nourish Nurses, and we had blogs about what to pack and what to eat and just all those tips and tricks about being a travel nurse.
Yeah.
And that is how Irna found us. And we actually contacted, I think, on maybe Instagram or something, and she saw that we were actually at a correction facility at the time. And we had never done corrections.
No.
But the beauty of like doing agency and working for Healthcare Australia is if you are in one area and you do actually want to grow and upskill as a nurse and as a professional, you have the opportunities. So you've seen this position, reached out to us, we told you everything that we knew about it, and then you came and joined us.
Yes,
Yeah,
I did.
and then we got to meet you face to face, which
I
was
did.
so amazing.
That was good. And I was like, I think that first day of
Yes.
orientation, I saw you and I was like, Sana, I'm here.
And I was like, oh my gosh, you
so
made
happy
it.
to see you.
It
Yeah.
was so good.
Oh,
and then
yeah, yeah.
not only did you just do one contract, so you can do a contract of like 4, 6, 8 weeks, you actually stayed for an entire year.
I certainly did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my contract was like 5 weeks. That was the first contract,
Yeah.
was 5 weeks. I was, my consultant at that time did make sure that I am going, to stay, make sure that it was really good that she told me that, inmate can be intimidating, can be manipulative. It can be a hard work and things, which is, I'm grateful for that because at least she told me the way it is, not sugarcoating anything, so she made me aware of that. So I have that awareness. So, I wasn't there and looked like a deer in the headlights or something. Yeah. So, because I know what to expect.
Yeah.
So, and I thought like, yeah, well, I would like to stay and see. And that the first couple of weeks was a bit overwhelming with trying to, the system, the computer system was a little bit, it's hard to get around your head. I think it's something that you have to do it, to learn it.
Yeah.
So that was a bit overwhelming the first couple of weeks. But after that, once I get a hang of that, I was actually liking it.
Yeah, and then you were running the joint. Then you were
Yeah.
like, I'll stay here. I love
For an
this.
entire year. So now you've got on your resume, you've got 1 year's correctional nursing experience, which
Correct.
is so amazing for your professional growth. And then also personally, like you got to like go traveling, you got to earn some really good income.
Yes.
Like, so when you're doing a rural remote contract, you get your flights or if you don't want to fly, if you want to drive, you get your fuel reimbursed. So your travel's included and you get your accommodation included. So you had your accommodation included when you were doing this contract for an entire year, actually.
Yes.
And you're on a higher rate and weekly pay.
Yeah.
Correct. I know weekly pay is great.
Yes.
And
It
I'm
is the
like, I haven't
best.
even spent my last week payment and I'm getting more. So that was great.
That's so good. We love that.
And how have you found the education bonus as well? You've been getting, because if you do a 6-week contract, you get $500.
Yeah.
And if you do 12 weeks within that year, you get $1,000 worth of education.
Well, yeah, with the education bonus, unfortunately, I'm just taking a break from education, like from doing courses, but I would like to do some more. Because before I studied doing rural and remote, I have just finished doing cert for training and assessment, and before that I was just finished doing urology and prostate cancer course. So I thought like I would like just to have a little break and do so, but I am going to take advantage of it, of course.
Because you can do your advanced life support.
Yes,
with it.
that
You
was
can
my
do-
first thing that I would like to do was that to get the ALS and then maybe rural and remote courses that I can,
Yes.
so it can it can help me enhance more knowledge, give me more knowledge of
Definitely.
rural and
Absolutely.
remote, because I do like studying. Yeah, don't talk to my husband because he'll tell you that I'm cranky when I'm studying, but I do like it. I do like getting knowledge, like new things. It's always
Well, you've
excite
already learned
me.
so much in your year of
Definitely.
corrections. And now let's talk about your new path that you've just done. So you've just finished your correction placement. You've done like back-to-back contracts for an entire year, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Now you're doing one of our surge contracts, which is pretty amazing. Talk about that. Where are you at the moment?
So the surge contract, I heard about it when I was still in correction. And I thought like, oh, great, I'm finishing in a couple of weeks. So I reached the beautiful Cassidy. She's just awesome. I said I would like to surge contract. And she gave me the list of places I can go to. I thought like, Tweed sounds good. So I'm at Tweed Hospital at the moment. I thought, it's not too far from where I live, and it's not, not too far away from everything else. It's a beautiful place.
And coastal as well.
And coastal, yes.
Very nice.
Yes, so I thought like, sign me up for Tweed. And then, so there
That's
I am.
nice. So you've gone from a contract being inland, you know, where you don't really have like a beach or anything, but you've got like, you know, nice hiking spots and,
Yes.
you know, there's always nice wineries. When you're inland, that's what I've discovered,
Yeah.
the wineries.
The mountains.
Really nice. The mountains. There's always like secret cheese factories.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
I love
yes.
when you're inland, you get those beautiful areas, but then
Definitely.
now you're in a different area. You're in
Yes.
a coastal area, which is
Coastal
pretty
area.
amazing.
That's right.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Tweed is such a beautiful
yeah,
area.
Tweed is, I mean, I live in Toowoomba, but usually I just go to surfers and not
Yeah.
really go this way, you
Yeah.
know. So, Tweed's amazing.
And when did you
Amazing
start
place.
there?
Beginning of June. So I finished at correction at mid-May. So I took a couple of weeks off and came to Tweed at beginning of June. And I'm still there now.
And you've now booked another contract.
Yes.
At the same place until
Correct. Correct,
when?
yes.
Until next year.
Until next year, until the end of January.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So if you're thinking like, you know, you just want to do a 4-week placement or a 6-week placement, come home, you can do that. But if you actually
Yes.
want to be like full nomad, like you can just do back-to-back contracts.
And if you think that
Absolutely.
you're not going to have work, like Inna is the star shining to show you that there is so much work
So much
available,
work.
There
and you
are
can
so
keep
much work.
extending. If you're a good worker, if you like what you're doing, you know, if you are consistent, you can 100% stay in the same place for a very long time, and you won't be without work. So
And you're in a
Yeah.
new area now, so you've upskilled from your, you know, surgical background, gen surge, and then you've got your now 1-year experience in corrections, and now you're in a brand new area.
Brand new area,
You're doing
correct. I'm
emergency.
ED, yes, I'm in emergency. So, because my emergency experience is limited. So, now I was actually surprised. I thought I will be on the ward. But when they put me on ED, I'm like, oh my God, ED. So, on the first day, I spoke to, you just be honest with them, you know,
Yeah.
be honest with the facility. Because they will accept you and they will be happy to train you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when, you know, on the first day, I said to the manager, I said, look, I said, my most experience is in surgical, general surgical, and then I did have 1 year in correction. I do have a limited experience in ED, so I'm a bit concerned that, like, well, not concerned, like
Just
a bit
being
daunting.
honest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a bit daunting to going into a new, you know, new set of skills and things. So I just, you know, let them know that, but I'm willing to learn. That's always,
That's the key.
yeah. I said I'm willing to learn, and I am a quick learner, which I am most of the time. And yeah, I'm willing to learn, and I'm here. I'm ready to work hard.
That's
Exactly.
so great. That's
So,
exactly what happened during
yeah.
my experience.
Yeah.
It's like I always wanted to learn new areas, but I was just in that place where I didn't want to stay. I was in Perth, Western Australia. I didn't want to stay there. And, you know, when you're trying to get into things like ED and you're staying in a city, it's very competitive to get into
Yes.
those kind of environments and those areas. So when you actually do take that leap and you become a rural remote nurse, smaller facilities actually are willing to train you. And so I was really honest with facilities and my consultant. I was like, I want to learn ED and I want to learn corrections and I want to get into these new areas. And if you are open and honest to your consultant about what you want and they communicate that with the facility and you communicate that, then you can learn all these new skills and your
Definitely.
resume is just looking so good.
You 100% can. And yeah, you two are the prime examples of the fact that you can upskill. And a lot of people come into agency and are afraid that, you know, their skills are going to remain stagnant. Maybe they're not going to use any new skills. They're not going to grow any new skills. Why would someone want to take me if I don't have any skills? But being honest is the main thing. We're all nurses. We're all had different experiences in different places. And this kind of the basic skills of being a nurse are pretty much across everyone, you know?
Yeah.
And using those to be adaptable in other areas. If you're willing to learn and adapt and, you know, just say, I don't know this and it's okay that I don't know this, but I want to learn how to do it and I will put everything into it, then they're going to give you a go most of the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. If you just be honest, be
Exactly.
honest, and there is no such thing as dumb question.
Yeah.
If you don't know,
Exactly.
you
I
ask.
agree.
Yeah, the question we always get asked on social media, because Zana and I actually run all the Healthcare Australia social media, so like Instagram, TikTok. So when you're reaching out to us, it's actually us responding to you, which is really good. But a lot of people say, I feel like I don't have enough experience.
Yes.
And they're too scared to become agency because they feel like they have to be this senior nurse or a CN style role. That is not true. To be a metro agency nurse is 1 year full-time after you graduate. So if you've done your grad program, you actually qualify to be a metro nurse. I mean, you can work in Brisbane, Townsville, things like that. If you want to go into the rural remote travel pathway, it's 2 years full-time experience. And then they do say with any specialties, they do like that 2 years in that specialty. And so some places in rural settings, when it's emergency, like they need an emergency nurse, it'll be someone who's got their ALS 1 and 2. They need to have all those advanced skills, rural rural remote skills. But for example, some places that need ED will take, like Irna, she's not that experienced, but she does have that background knowledge of surgical and corrections, and they're willing to take her. So it is a little bit flexible. And if you actually do have the desire to learn ED, that's actually there for you. You can do it. But 2 years full time just to actually enter the kind of rural remote pathway.
Yes.
But then the world opens up.
The world is your oyster after that. So tell us what your favourite kind of experience has been with Healthcare Australia, or your favourite place, your favourite experience.
I guess the correction.
Yeah.
They would be at the moment, it would be my favourite. I'm sure I will have more favourites later on. But the correction is really opened my eyes to different kind of style of nursing.
Yes.
It's amazing. That's amazing thing about nursing. You can go to so many different specialties. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but correction. Yeah, the correction.
Yeah.
Is
I agree. I do miss it quite a lot working in corrections. It's so different. It's so autonomous, and you can, run your day how you want to run your day. It's like running a primary health care facility, really.
Yeah.
It's all kind of like community care based. So you can kind of run your own day, which I loved. And I love being able to kind of work for myself, and, you have your inmates that you look after, and you develop such great rapport. And it's just so different, but I do miss it daily. It's very, very hard work, very busy.
It is, yeah. I think when I was in correction, I can actually learn how to trust my gut instinct, my gut feeling.
Yeah, I like that.
When you see someone coming in, you're fine. But then you see someone, because not all inmates are the same.
Yes.
Someone that you feel like, I don't know if I want to be with you, too close, or without any officer like really close nearby. You get that, and then you can
distance.
Yeah, you can actually feel who's genuine, who's not. Yeah. So I think that's really trying to read what is not being said.
Yeah, and that is such a great skill to have for emergency as well, because you're seeing these people come in that half the time don't tell you all of the things. So using that gut instinct in ED is extremely important, because you're seeing people straight on face value. You can have inmates come in, you could have prisoners that are no longer in prison, and they've, you still have that gut instinct about people and community people that come into the ED. So that's super beneficial for your role now, definitely.
Also, with correction, you actually, like before I went to correction, I always think that all criminals are like bad to the core.
Yeah. But that's what everyone thinks. They think, oh my God, if you're in prison, you're a bad person.
Yeah, but no, actually, So it's really, especially the mental health stuff. Like I don't have much experience in mental health at all. But
you do correction, now. You've got a whole year of it.
Yeah, and the correction, it was really opened me up to that, to give me that experience on the mental health, the importance of mental health, the mental health issues.
Yeah,
I think that we face, every day in society, definitely. And why they like that. Some of them have no choice, and it just, so it's
you learn their stories.
Right.
Yeah. Something that I was so passionate about working there after I'd worked there for so long is that it really makes you assess like people in the community as well. It makes you assess everyone that you interact with and give them a chance, because you don't know why or where they've ended up in this place. Like, you see homeless people on the street, or you see prisoners, and you think, oh, they've done that to themselves. Or, you think, those natural thoughts come to your head as because it's kind of conditioned in you to think that. But really, you need to take a step back and be like, well, actually, why are they in this position? And you get to know their stories. And some of them have severely traumatic backgrounds that you think, actually, if I was in that position, who knows where I would have ended up. Yeah. And you really take people for, who they are and, the things that they bring, rather than the circumstances that are around them. And I think that's a really important thing to have as personal growth as well, just for dealing with people. It's such an important thing to know, and to treat everyone the same, treat everyone with kindness.
See, whenever I do reception, the first thing I will say to them will be, I introduce myself, I tell them my name. Yeah. No, not the full name. And
exactly.
The first thing I will say to them, look, my name, I'm a nurse. My name is Irna. I don't care what you do. You are my patient. Yeah. To me, you are my patient. You are not an inmate. So you can be as honest as you like with me. And this conversation is stand between us. Yeah. It's respect. Exactly.
Once you put that respect out, and you're going to get that respect back, especially with prisoners and people who have been through some very traumatic things. They want someone that, is going to respect them, because if you're not going to respect you, they're not going to respect you back, and then the cycle continues. But if you create that space for them and you hold that, place for them to be honest and be themselves, then the relationship and the rapport that you build is so much better.
You've learnt some amazing skills.
You have.
I have.
And it all begun
Because
you started with Healthcare Australia.
I know.
Yes,
Very
correct.
amazing.
Yes.
Very amazing.
Yes.
So do you have any visions of where you want to go next? What are your ultimate goals with agency nursing? Where do you want it to take you?
Travel
Yeah.
around
Keep
Australia.
Yep.
Places that if we go as tourists, we don't normally go to. So like off the beaten track. The further, the better.
Yeah.
I love adventure. So adventure.
All right,
Amazing.
That's my next.
We're going to do some rapid fire questions just
Okay.
for some fun.
Oh.
So, would you prefer to be, what's a nice coastal town? Like I'm trying to think of. Or would you rather go to Bega, where the cheese is made? That's what we always call the little Bega cheese, which is coastal in New South Wales.
Yeah.
Or would you choose Tennant Creek in Northern Territory and be like rural out there?
Well, I've been to Bega and it is beautiful.
Have you?
But I would like to go to Tennant Creek because
Creek.
I have never been there.
Yes, and if you do a stint in Tennant Creek, you've got like Uluru that you can do, and you can adventure all through Northern Territory, do Kakadu National Park.
Yeah, I think Tennant Creek's not near the border of Queensland and
Yeah.
I have
Northern
no
Territory,
idea.
I believe.
It's somewhere in
Queensland or
Northern
Northern Territory, but either way,
No, it's in Northern Territory.
Is it?
Yeah, because I signed a contract to go there,
Oh,
but then the
did you?
borders kept closing on
Oh
me.
damn! Well, the
Dang.
borders aren't closing anymore, guys. So the
Tennant
borders are
Tennant
open.
Creek it is, yeah.
And Alice Springs.
Cool.
Oh,
like,
yes.
all those bits.
I would like to go to
Rapid
prison. I mean, not prison.
fire. You don't want to go to prison.
Would like to work in prison in Alice Spring.
Oh yeah.
Yes, the correction at Alice
be
Spring.
fascinating.
That would be fascinating.
That would be awesome. I think that would be a
Yeah.
All right,
nice
add that on the list.
experience. So yes, it's in my list. On my
Yeah.
list.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
We're
Rapid
going
fire
to do some more
question?
rapid fire questions. These ones are very random.
Yeah, they are.
But what is the weirdest thing you've ever eaten? Can you think off the top of your head anything?
During contract or
Just in
Either.
life.
either
Live, yeah.
live octopus,
Live octopus.
baby octopus.
But
That was
Did
alive.
you say
It's
live?
alive. Yes.
Wait, so it's
Where?
still just like wiggling around.
Where
like,
was this?
Oh, I used to work with a group of Korean
Yeah.
back when I was in Indonesia, and they took me
Wow.
to this Korean restaurant, and this waitress just came with a big bowl with about 10 octopus alive swimming around.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
how the heck? Is this? Are we gonna cook this? He said, no, you just eat it. So one of the guy grabbed the octopus, hold it the head, and just squeeze the water out of the tentacles, and she just put it in the sauce, put the head on the sauce, and just
Oh
pop
my
it in his
goodness.
mouth. And he was wearing glasses, and the tentacles go over his face and holding onto his glasses.
While he was eating it.
Yeah.
Wow, I love this question,
question-
so much.
But this was years ago before we have video cameras. I would have
man.
put on a camera, but I would never forget.
Wow.
So they dare me to do it. It was actually quite nice.
Wow.
A bit grizzly, but it's nice and salty. And
What a way to end that podcast.
It's
That
actually
was
nice.
great.
That's great. Wow.
Well, Inna, you've had a world of experiences, and we very much thank you for joining us today. We are just amazed by the growth that you've made since we first met you, personal growth and professional growth, and you should be super proud of where you're at. And yeah, we can't wait to hear all the journeys that you're going to go on after
I'm
this one.
looking forward to it. And
So
thanks
good.
to you for encouraging me to come to correction.
Thank you.
Because I was really, really scared. And
Yeah.
when I asked you, I said, is it safe? And then your answer was like, if it is not safe, will we be here? I thought
Exactly.
oh, that's a good point.
You're like,
Yes.
wow, she's hit the
Okay.
nail on the head there.
Yes, and we actually
Yeah.
do have a correctional blog out there. If anyone is, listening to this conversation and wants to read a little bit more, there is a correctional blog on the Healthcare Australia website under the blogs there. So we actually write heaps of blogs every week. We release a new blog, so go read, what we're up to, our experiences and things like that. So and reach out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all that. We will answer all your questions that you need. So thanks, guys.
We'll see you
have
next
a good
time.
week.
Bye.
Bye.